Captain on the bridge.
Howdy, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we got something to go over from the Star Trek Online X feed, so on screen. Yes, captains, before we get into this video, do us a huge favor, hit that like button. Also, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to our YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains, where we can share our love, our passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, with that said, here we go. Yes, captains, we got a couple things to go over here. So as we normally do, we'll drop the two ECs and at the end give our conclusions. You already saw the thumbnail, captains, so that is going to be our main topic, but we do have this. So we'll get this out of the way. So captains on PC, send your duty officers on assignments this weekend and earn additional XP. So it is the Junior Officer Weekend. Earn bonuses to your duty officer assignments on PC in this special event. So captains, most of you know that we do include some of the doffing assignments for our nightly paperwork. Usually it's more just contraband so that we can turn in the contrabands for Dill, but that's kind of what we use it for. But if you do a lot more, then this is here for you to help you get the experience as well. That also helps. So from October 19th to the 23rd, we are running a special weekend event where you can earn bonus commendation XP by completing any duty officer assignments. To those junior officers who work tirelessly in cramped Jeffries tube, perish namelessly on away missions, or provide the endless streams of reports and analysis necessary for a starship to function, this event is dedicated for you. Now, I feel like they should change this up to have like the lower decks crew. Just saying. It really does, like this description is so lower deck, so just saying. And maybe even have a reward of them as duty officers, because we did get them a couple years ago for free, and since then there's been no other way to get them. So I think this would be a way to change the Junior Officer Weekend to the lower decks sort of theme and be giving away the duty officers. All of them, so Tendi, Rutherford, Boimler, and Mariner. But we'll continue on here. During this event, you'll gain a 50% increase in all commendation XP earned, of course, by completion of duty officer assignments. You don't need to do anything special for this bonus, it's automatic. Receive a free special purple quality duty officer seat. This would be great. And they're not even purple, they're just green. The unique active roster power by speaking with your duty officer contact for Starfleet officers and Romulan allies. This is an engineering exocomp duty officer. For KDF officers and Romulan allies, it is a Reman duty officer. It's not available if you already claimed it the last time you ran an event. I've never really done this event, really, to be honest with you, just benefited from the extra XP we get. Duty officer packs open during this event will each have a free additional green quality or better duty officer inside. This only applies to C-store purchase packs, not to those awarded during rank up. From the recruitment assignments or mini packs. Also, it applies only to packs open during the event, even if they are purchased prior to the event. The packs included in this offer are the Delta Alliance, the Gamma Quadrant, the Reinforcements Duty Officer, Fleet Support Duty Officer Pack, the Romulan Survivor, Fleet Support Duty, and Klingon Empire Duty Officer and Federation Duty Officer Pack. The Academy particle scanning events are now part of the Junior Officer Appreciation event. Visit Starfleet Academy or Klingon Academy during the event and speak to Professor Mayer or Commander Bitama. Pick a cadet to train and then engage in scanning particles all about the Academy grounds. As you scan and capture particles, you'll help to train the cadet, and in exchange, your faction will release a new random duty officer to you. The more particles you scan, the better the quality of the officer you can claim. So here if you scan a minimum of 5, you get a common duty officer, 25 uncommon duty officer, 50 a rare duty officer, and 75 traces very rare duty officer. Remember, additional reserve roster duty officer slots in increments of 25 and 100 are available from the in-game C-store for up to a maximum of 500 reserve roster spaces. Have fun and try not to send too many duty officers to sickbay. So that is happening for my PC caps, I should say, this weekend as of this video. So let's get to the main part of this video. which is, again, thank you to Mixstud Muffin, the Mixstud Mapping, Mixstew, for sending me this. And of course, we all know Spencer had made a video on this already, but I thought I would drop my 2 ECs on this because I've been kind of thinking about this. I was going to make a video on this yesterday, but I wanted to kind of gather some of my thoughts. So we'll just go over this and then go over a couple more X feeds and then again drop the ECs as we go. So Cryptic Studios and Zen Studios appear to be latest studios affected by Embracer Group's restructuring. That's never good. And this is dated October 16th, so a couple days ago. Now, I have been through a corporate restructuring of a company, my first sort of garage door company that I work for, and for the most part, things stay the same. But that also depends on how things are doing in terms of profit. And I feel that Stowe is still in a good place, but this last year has, for me, has kind of felt a little shaky in terms of the quality of the overall product. Not to say that it has not had its obviously good moments. You know that, Caps, we've celebrated the moments when we feel the need to, when it comes to ship stories, all that. But in terms of almost moving the game forward, I feel that it just is kind of almost in a stagnant state. Just kind of my opinion, but we'll just read this and keep going here. But I say that to say, so if a company is not profitable, then yeah, layoffs can happen, a restructuring can happen where employees are replaced. So this is kind of what I'm thinking, but there's also sort of proof to kind of back this up in terms of word from our devs. So anyways, the Embracer Group has already conducted layoffs at several first-party developers. It seems that Cryptic Studios and Zen Studios are the latest teams to be affected by the ongoing restructuring. Possible layoffs at Cryptic Studios, as spotted by Timmer222 on X, former Twitter. Several Cryptic Studio employees have posted on LinkedIn and they were recently laid off. This includes gameplay engineer David Nishbal, senior technical artist Chris Pinay, and senior game designer Jesse Hegnick. I did not know that they were laid off, actually. Interesting. The extent of the cuts is unclear, but overall, Cryptic Studios currently employs just under 180 people via its LinkedIn. It is worth noting that some employees clarified that they haven't lost their jobs yet, but judging by different posts, most of them were written on Friday. It seems that dozens of Cryptic staffers are now looking for roles at other companies. Among them are several artists, senior community manager Mike Baden, which is of course Ambassador Kale, sound designer Nigel A. Wilson, lead engineer Andy Moorer, and more. When everyone around you is facing such a tumultuous and chaotic future, how can you remain optimistic? Staff tech analyst Rob Mann wrote, "It's very difficult and has been the norm as of late with a heartbreaking amount of other people. I am open to discuss possibilities to try and figure out the next step." So this, we're going to visit that later, but we're going to keep going. Actually, no, we'll go here. So this is that post from Timmer222. So again, shout out to you, sir. But we'll go through the 4 of these. So this is David Nishbal, gameplay engineer, technical designer at Cryptic Studios. "Hello, LinkedIn. I'm looking for a new opportunity to use my skills as an Unreal engineer with over a decade of experience under my belt. I'm skilled at building features from scratch, removing obstacles, and accelerating tasks for designers and artists, and providing written designs for systems, narrative, and interaction." Chris Penny. "Hi everyone, I'm looking for a new role. Would appreciate your support. Thank you in advance for any connections, advice, or opportunities that you can offer. Open to work. Of course, senior technical artist at Cryptic Studios." I didn't hear about this actually, to be honest. Jesse Hennig. No, Jesse we've seen on the stream a couple times. And he is the senior game designer at Cryptic Studios. "It's a stormy time in the game industry, and I hope to continue to bring my experience to challenging roles." And of course, here is the tweet. Now, I've seen this already, but we'll go over it. Senior community manager, writer at Cryptic Studios. Hi folks, things are weird in the world right now, and it seems like the right time to open this back up. I'm an experienced senior community manager, writer, convention host, and personality, and I'd like to hear from you. So now I'll just speak from sort of my experience. We've had Ambassador Kale here on the bridge for an interview, and the only thing that I can say in regards to Ambassador Kale, and this is not necessarily a dig or a shot, is that when he shows the ships, it would be nice because, and I've said this before in a video, the end game for some of us is shipbuilding. And sometimes he'll just take ships out and just to show it. I guess that is the purpose, obviously, but it would be nice to have a little bit of shipbuilding sort of knowledge, and that he would show that to the newer players, especially when they're showing their ships. Doesn't have to go into detail about it with some of the videos that I know I myself or others do, but just to just show that passion, that part of the game where you build things, and shipbuilding is definitely one of them in the end game. So I hope that they don't go, but for me, I would like to see more passionate people about Star Trek online. I'm not saying they're not passionate. We have all different levels of passion, myself included, and others out there, from content creators to players to obviously our devs. Sometimes I don't see that from Ambassador Kale because he doesn't even know some of the ships in game. I can remember this clearly, and I'm pretty sure it was one of my favorite ships. He didn't even know what it was. It was an Ambassador class, and it was just like, really? Really? And I'm not saying he has done a bad job. It's a hard thing to be a community manager because you have to relay, you have to take the full brunt of it. And we kind of talked about it briefly here on the bridge when we had him here. And I'd love to have him here. And again, really, to be honest, I might reach out to him. But I feel that more can be done. Even from the blogs that are released, like spelling errors, sometimes it just shows and screams to some that they don't care. Because I see that as a recurring theme, like the devs don't care. Oh, there's a bug here, the devs don't care. I don't claim to know how a game works in terms of finding bugs or releasing all that. No, I don't. But I do know that Stowe code is so old, that is such a spaghetti code, that when they implement new things, something breaks. And Stowe is in a state of, some people just say broken. But Stowe is not the only game that is in that state of having a lot of bugs. Other games do. So as a player, I want my devs to just have that passion. And it's been a while since I've seen a dev have that. And I will say that Jonathan has been a sort of a ray of light. Hearing him, seeing what he's done with the game, it feels good. It's positive direction, I think. I should say. So hopefully that continues, where we also, if Mike or Master Kale decides to move on, a replacement is someone that has that passion for Stowe, that loves Stowe, and will do anything. And I'm not saying he's not doing anything, but it just seems like his hands are always tied, which makes sense because he's not the one that fixes things, he's not the one that makes things. But I felt like other community managers in the past have had a little bit more interaction with the player base, and the player base right now, as it was before, is in a very different place. So, again, all I can hope for is, one thing I will say actually is just, I hope, the best for everyone in this situation, especially if it is coming down that there is going to be some sort of a layoff or restructuring, because that does affect, and at the end of the day, there are people who are trying to provide for their family. And that's the one thing I try to remember regardless, that people have a job because they are trying to provide for themselves, for their family, for their loved ones. And that's why I don't try to be too negative on the devs, because they're trying their best. At the very end of the day, I know they're trying their best. It may not feel like it, but my feelings don't matter. What matters is that they're putting in the work, and sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll just kind of leave it at that, but we'll read on here. So, founded in 2000, Cryptic Studios is best known for MMO games like City of Heroes, Star Trek Online, and Neverwinter. It remained independent until 2008 when it was acquired by Atari. In 2011, Perfect World Entertainment snapped up studio for an undisclosed sum. Embracer Group became the new owner of Cryptic Studios back in February 2022, after completing its acquisition of Perfect World Entertainment. The developer became a subsidiary of Gearbox, which is one of the operative groups within the Swedish holding company. So this is now talking about Zen Studio, so this is kind of where we're going to stop on this article, but I'll link this article in the description below. Now, I did say this where, with all the new Trek that we have, it's great. It's been great for Stowe, because we've been seeing the benefits with ships coming into Stowe and all that. And I hope that it continues. I've given Stowe about 3 years, and I gave that like last year. So we're on the second year now. But with the Star Trek show still continuing, as of this video, we still have Discovery Season 5 to come out in 2024. So that'll be the third year. So I was conservative, but I'm trying to put myself in a place of not disappointed, because at the end of all this, I don't want Stowe to go away. I love Stowe. I love playing Stowe. I love being here with my fellow captains. I love being able to just have fun. And if Stowe were to end, that would be a very tough day for me, but not only for me, but for everyone else that loves Stowe. Having said that, we still have Lower Decks, we still have Strange New Worlds, we still have Prodigy, especially now it's found a new home on Netflix. We have apparently this Academy series. We have a movie, possibly 2 movies to go on. So there's still a lot of Star Trek yet to be had, especially in Stowe. And even if all the Star Trek were to end, the TV shows, the movies, anything, the Stowe devs would still have so much story to still go off of. Because before Discovery, they were just picking story plots here and there and making entire story arcs out of them. So even if all that Star Trek were to stop, I'd still give Stowe 3 years from that point. So from this, Discovery, I'll give it another 3 years. So I'll say 4 or 5 years from next year. So we'll have to see how Star Trek does. Now, I will show one more thing here, which was from a tweet from another one of our devs, which is Nick Dugid, of course, Tumor Boy. And he tweeted this out there on the 17th. So no one at Cryptic has been laid off since after Magic's launch. So that's great. That's great to hear, that if there were layoffs or whatever, that he was confirming that there was none. So all I hope is, going forward, as a player, I want Stowe to thrive. I want Stowe to keep getting better. And I want devs who are passionate about Stowe as much as we are as the player base. I wouldn't be playing this since 2014 if I didn't love Stowe. And I know a lot of you captains have been playing a lot longer than I have. So for me, it's not game over, as what I said in the thumbnail there, but I just hope that they can keep Star Trek Online going with just passion. That's all I want. I just want that passion. And sometimes you see little flares of it here and there, from the story, from the systems that they implement, from the ships coming in, and the love that you see and hear from some of them, like Thomas. You definitely can tell how much he loves working on Star Trek Online / Star Trek. And that's the other thing. Stowe and Star Trek now are tied at the hip. So hopefully, again, that just carries it forward into the future for more years to come. So I know my thoughts were kind of all over the place here, Caps, but I usually want to do these while these thoughts are in my head, and that I can share it here on the bridge with you in moments like these. So I don't know, Caps, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think of this news? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the future of Stowe is? Let's be positive. Let's try not to, put people down. Again, keep in mind, our devs, they have families that they're providing for. So it would not be in their best interest not to try to do the best job that they can do. Sometimes their hands are tied. So when we're making comments, let's just try to be positive. We can criticize what they have done, but let's not criticize and or make fun of or, demean the actual person themselves. Criticize their work all we want. That's fine. But also, of course, as always, hit that like button and consider subscribing here to our YouTube bridge. And, let's leave it on this positive note at the very least.
Live long and prosper.